Hello everyone, Fawn here with Ikonart, and today I'm going to be showing you another option for a very easy, very beginner-friendly artwork program to use to create artwork for your Ikonart stencils. So if you watched some of my other artwork tutorials in the past, a couple of the ones that I usually recommend are Gravit, Inkscape, and Silhouette Studio. Gravit I recommended because it was a free online program that you could use and it was pretty easy and basic to learn. But they just recently got purchased by CorelDRAW and it's no longer a free program. So I was looking for something that was kind of similar to that was still free, still really easy to learn, and still an online program, and I found it, Vectr, the name of the program is Vectr, and I have been playing around in it a little bit, and it is very easy, very beginner friendly, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. I really like it because it's just, especially like I said, for beginners. So this is going to be, if all you want to do is take SVGs that you maybe downloaded from our website, we have a free SVG library, or if you purchase your SVGs from Etsy, or get them from Fancy or Design Bundles, or many of the other websites that have artwork online, and all you want to do is maybe resize them, recolor them, adjust them a little bit, and then print them for your Ikonart stencils. This is the program for you. It's so easy to use, and I think that you're really gonna like it. Anyways, it is a free online program, and let's jump into it. So let's open Google Chrome, and the website is just vectr.com. So vectr.com without the O. So it's a free online vector graphics editor, as you can see right here. So you should be able to just, right here, I'm already logged in, but you will see a login button right here, and you can just create an account for free. You just, name, email, normal things. And then you just log in. So once you sign up, you just can log in like that. And it opens right in your browser, and it's this easy. So it's just, this is the initial interface, and you just can either open a file directly. You can also just click new artwork right here, and then that will bring up your page sizes. So they have these predetermined page sizes, or you can of course do a custom one over here by changing this to inches and putting in whatever size you want. So I'm just going to choose an 8.5 by 11 since that's what I'm going to be printing on. And because I'm in the print tab, it automatically changes this to 300 DPI, 8.5 by 11. So that's exactly what I want for printing. And this is what it looks like. So it's super, super basic, and you just have a few tools over here and then a few tools up top right here, and that's it. So let's just go over some of the tools. So this is going to be your pages. So if you would want to add multiple pages, I'll probably do another tutorial on that where I show you how to do large artwork and split it up onto multiple pages, so you could use that for that. And then if you want to work in layers, I don't usually work in layers, but you certainly can. That could be another tutorial as well. Elements, they have certain shapes that you can add if you want to kind of create your own artwork. You can look through that, or they have actual shapes. And then this is going to be your pen tool. So that is going to be if you want to create cut lines for your Ikonart stencils. I'll show you how to do that. The pencil tool is kind of a free-form drawing. The text tool, of course, if you want to add your own text. This is how you're going to bring in your images, and then basic settings. Then this is a few options as well over here. So snapping to the grid lines. Once you're ready to export your file, this is where you would do that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that is how basic this program is. So it is perfect for beginners because there's not a lot of buttons everywhere that are confusing. So it's just this little interface here. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how to take SVG files that you have downloaded from other sources, combine them all onto one sheet to print them and size them the way you want. So I'm just going to use some of the SVGs that are on our website. I'm just going to download a couple of them and then combine them basically. But all right, so let's take this Happy Harvest one. So I'm just going to click on that and download the SVG. When you click download SVG, it opens in a new window, and then you just right click and save it to your desktop. So I'll save that one. And then let's see, what else do we want? Okay, we'll do this one too, then I can show you how to edit it. All right, so then we're gonna download that SVG as well. Perfect. Save as and save to the desktop. All right, so basically I downloaded the 2 SVGs, but I want them to be on one sheet together. So I want to print them together on one sheet. So I need to edit that and then have a way to print them. And that's where Vectr comes in. So all I'm going to do is, now that I have the files that I want on my desktop, I'm just going to get them both into this document. So I'll click upload and go to my desktop, and I'll just open them up. So I open it, and now it comes into the Vectr program grouped. So I'm just going to right click and choose ungroup. And now that's going to make all of my artwork pieces individual pieces. So I could move this around individually, but I actually don't want any of these leaves on here. I just want the happy harvest. Yeah, I just want that for now. We'll see. All right, so then I'm just gonna group that. And then I'm gonna lock this so that when I bring in my other one, I can adjust it without worrying about accidentally deleting this. So I'm just gonna lock this for now by right clicking and choosing lock. And then I'm gonna bring in my second one and again, ungroup. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here with my zoom tool down in the corner. Let's see. So for this one, I wanna change this, of course, to be my name. So let's scale this down a little bit by using the transform tool. There we go, perfect. If you know the size of your sign that you're going to be making, I've just grouped that again, and then you can go over here by the dimensions, make sure your little lock button is clicked. That'll make sure it scales proportionally and doesn't distort. Pet peeve. And so say I knew I needed this to be 4 inches wide, I would just type 4, and then it would automatically adjust my height to be the right height or scale proportionally. So let's do that, and then let's get my name in there, or if you want to do your name. So all you do is take the text tool and click on your document, and you would just say, let's do the Swansons. All right, and then I press the escape button to get my transform controls back on there. And now I want to change the font, so I just select that all by double clicking, and then all your font controls will be over here. So you just click on here, and then they have standard fonts that come with the program. If you want to use your own font, all you do is click this plus button right here, and you have to add it, you have to upload it. Since this is an online program, it's not actually on your computer, this program is just online, you would have to actually upload your font to this program if you wanted to use a specific font. I am just going to choose one of their fonts. So I want something that's kind of nice and bold, similar to what is on there already. Montserrat's always a good font. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so once I have that the way I want it, again, I'm just going to press my escape button to get my controls on there. You can also, I want to touch on this too, adjust your spacing over here. So say I wanted the letters to be farther apart from each other, that's called kerning. You can adjust that over here. So that'll actually add space between your letters. It won't distort, doesn't stretch your letters and distort them. It just adds space between each letter. So that's really helpful. If you're trying to fill a certain amount of space but you don't want to stretch the font, you could add letter spacing. So once I have the font the way I want it to look, I like to right click and then select outline text. So now that is actually making it artwork and it's not a live font anymore. So if I would share this file with someone else, you always want to outline your fonts like this, because otherwise they'll try to open it on their computer, and if they don't have that font, it won't load. So that's why I always like to outline all of my text after I have it the way that I want it. So after that, I can just scale this down to kind of be about the size that I want. Let me zoom in here. Whoops. So let's make it about the same size here. And then we'll just delete this and put this in its place. All right, so that looks good. I'm just using this auto fit button it fits everything direct or exactly on the screen, you know. All right, so now we have that. Happy Harvest looks good. I can unlock everything now that, yeah, that looks nice, and that one looks nice. All right, so we need another file to fill up our page. So let's go back to the website. All right, and I'm gonna use one of these hand-lettered little guys. So I'm just gonna, again, download the SVG, right-click, save to desktop. All right, so I'm back in Vectr, and I'm just gonna select everything and lock it just so I make sure I don't accidentally delete anything. And then I will upload my one I just downloaded and on group. And then I think the only one I want from this one, I think I'm gonna use Grateful. So I can just take that one, I can delete everything else. And then I am going to rotate this to fit in this spot. So you can either hover over the corner and your rotate icon will appear, and then you can rotate and hold down the shift button, and then by holding down shift, that snaps it exactly on certain angles so that it'll snap exactly to the angle you want. 90 degrees usually you're rotating. So another way to do it is simply to select 90 degrees over here. All right, so then once I have that, I can scale it to fit what I need right here. All right, so this is looking like a really good stencil, but I do want to add cut lines. So the way to do that is to take the pen tool over here and just click where you want your line, and then shift click over here, and then hit escape to kind of like deselect that tool. And then select your line, and in order to get it bigger, you're gonna change the border size over here. So I'm gonna make mine 0.03, and that is gonna just thicken up that line a little bit. And then I'll just repeat that process for a vertical line right here. So click right there and shift click down here, click escape, select it, and add my border 0.03. All right, so I'm gonna unlock all of my artwork now that I have it the way I want it, select it all, and I just wanna make sure it's all black. So if you get your files from different sources, it's gonna depend on how that artist had their artwork set up. Sometimes it might look black on screen, but it's not actually black. So I do like to go over here to fills and click on this little black dot right next to fill. And then I like to make sure this is as CMYK because that's the color mode you print in, cyan, magenta, yellow, black. That's what printers print in. RGB is red, green, blue. RGB is what your monitor, so it's like a viewing on your screen, what the color space of that. So I always print CMYK, and I always make sure that my black is 100% and that my cyan, magenta, yellow is at 0. So sometimes you might bring in artwork that looks black, but it's actually a build of CMYK, like 80, 60, 60, 80 or something like that. I always just like to make sure it's 100% black. So you can do that right here under fills. So super easy, and that all looks good. It's all black, so that's excellent. So the other thing that I really like about Vectr, you can save this directly in Vectr so that it's always here in your account when you log into the website, but you can also export an SVG if you want. So when you click export, you can save this directly as an SVG, PNG, or a JPEG file. And that's really nice. So if you'd want to share this with someone else, you would save it as SVG and then it's saved. So that's a really nice option, but you can also print directly from the export button as well. But before printing, I did want to show you one other thing that's very easy to do in Vectr, and that's mirroring your artwork. Not everyone does this. This is optional, but if you do want to mirror your artwork, and I'll have a whole other video on should you or shouldn't you mirror your artwork, but I just group it together, and then right here you'll see flip horizontal. So that's how easy it is to mirror your artwork if you want to mirror it before printing. So once you have that mirrored, you can just go up here and to the export button and then click print, and it'll bring up your print box. So I'm printing on my Canon today, and then 8.5 by 11 of course, and I always go into my print dialog settings, so my actual printer preferences as well. So the first preferences were just the Vectr program print settings. This is my Canon printer settings. So I select my printer and go into preferences, and of course I have mine saved, but all it is I change my paper type to be this Pro Platinum. I change my print quality to be as high as it can go, and I change my color and intensity to also be as dark as it can be. So that is how I adjust my print settings, and then you can literally print right out of Vectr. So that is great. Helps if you turn your printer on. All right, so that's fine. And that's all there is to it. It's very, like I said, very easy, very basic. It's perfect if all you're doing is taking SVGs that you buy or download for free online and you want to combine them, resize them, and print them. It is the perfect program for that. I really, really like it. So now once I go, it kind of auto saves as you're working. So once I hit my home button, these are some other projects that I had been working on, but it's right here, and I can just retitle it to be my Happy Harvest one. And now it's always right here, so I can open it and adjust it or do whatever I want. So I hope that was helpful. This is very beginner. I'm going to be filming a series of videos in Vectr showing a few different things that you can do in it. I'm going to be doing a recipe tutorial. I know that's one that we get a lot of requests for. And then also splitting up larger artwork onto multiple artboards, and then also printing if you don't have enough artwork to fill up a whole sheet, what to do then. So look forward to those tutorials as well. Or if you have any specific artwork tutorial requests, please let me know in the comments and I can help you with those as well. So yes, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.